found 25 instances where crew members were in front of the camera. Hey guys, welcome back to my series, Dance Mums Unedited. So this is the show where I talk about dance mums and look at production notes from the actual producers of the show. So we're in a bit of a different location today, and so hopefully this will be a little more relaxed. I quite like the look of this. So today we're going back to season 1, and I'm very excited because I've always found season 1 to be so interesting because it wasn't necessarily intended to be a reality TV show at first. I'm excited to share with you guys what really happened behind the scenes on Dance Mums season 1. Unlike with season 4, this isn't the official binder and copy of the production notes. I actually downloaded them online from a Reddit user who actually got the notes from the same place that I got the season 4 notes. So that's Kitty Hawk Criminal on Reddit. She got the production notes and I have just downloaded them and printed them off and sort of read through them, highlighted them, and prepared today's unedited episode. It is still just as relevant and reliable as the other notes that I had. As always, there will be a link to the notes in the description box below so you can read it for yourself. Because there was definitely more to the first episode of Dance Mums than the producers cared to show. So let's dig into it. This week was different from all the other episodes of Dance Mums because only the competition was filmed. This means that everything leading up to the competition was actually filmed later in the season. The Abby vs Minister Dawn fight happened during the week of episode 4. You can see Abby grab some icing from the cake that Kathy was given on her birthday during this episode. Also, Kathy's mum was in the studio that day, and you can see that the girls are wearing the outfits that they wore during rehearsals for Ups and Downs. Maddie crying during rehearsal actually happened during the week of episode 2. You can tell by the choreography that the girls are doing that they're rehearsing Electricity. Kathy and Vivi joining the studio also didn't happen until the week of episode 2. Of course, the production notes confirm all of this as well, and I'll discuss each situation based on when they appear during filming. In the opening montage of the show, there is a shot of producer Brian Stinson. There is also a shot of Dawn sitting with Christi, Melissa, and Kelly. This is strange because Dawn was never supposed to be one of the original mums. She and Reagan were supposed to be brought in for the Ups and Downs group number, but not as permanent members of the team. Like everything else, the pyramid of this episode was filmed during the following week, and made to look like it happened in the first week. I just wanted to point out, even though all of these scenes were sort of filmed at different points of season 1, there are so many instances in this first episode where you can see crew members. It is insane. I looked really closely at this episode and I found 25 instances where crew members were in front of the camera. The first thing you might notice when you read these production notes is that the producers seem to have identified the ALDC's main competitors for this particular competition. When the cast checks into the hotel where West Coast Dance Explosion is taking place, Abby tells the girls that they are not allowed to swim or go to the pool because they are here to dance, not swim. Then the producers get the cast to redo this scene, gathering their luggage and checking in at the front desk all over again. Abby tells the girls that they're not allowed to sit on the floor because apparently only animals sit on the floor. The girls and Abby then walk through the hotel to check out the competition. They all run into the owner of the competition, Linda, who explains the order of the program, where the girls can enter the stage, how the awards ceremonies will work, and who the judges are. Pretty much all of the cast had trouble getting their cases and makeup mirrors set up properly. This could suggest that this was the first time any of these mums had ever done it, maybe because another dance mum used to put up all the makeup mirrors at competitions, or maybe even the producers provided the makeup mirrors and this is the first time they'd ever used them. The girls start to pose in the mirror and, weirdly enough, Melissa tells them to think and to not be dumb. The notes say that the artwork on the wall was not cleared for production to use, which is quite an interesting copyright issue that most of us wouldn't even think about. Christi becomes upset that Abby didn't make the hats for Party Party Party. She wasn't even in the dressing room while Christi was busy frantically trying to make the hats. This is the point where Christi jokes that she will hold the hats hostage and that the mums would have to buy her cocktails in exchange. It's interesting how the show put this line after the bar scene. By placing this line after she was shown drinking at the bar, they make it look like Christi was more out of control with her drinking than she actually was. Christi and Kelly talk about how Abby told them that if they don't have money, they shouldn't be flying across the country. Meanwhile, Holly and Nia are sitting far away from the rest of the group, and they seem to be outsiders. Abby then enters the dressing room and asks about the hats. However, only one has been finished. Abby declares that it's not right. She wants the girls to get themselves ready instead of their mums doing their makeup, and she asks Brooke why she can do algebra but she can't do her own makeup. Abby then proceeds to yell at Brooke, who is standing at the food table. The producers have noted that this is a good Brooke doesn't care moment, proving that they really were searching for moments where Brooke looks like a moody teenager. Abby begins working on the hats and Mackenzie joins her. Abby then tells her that she won't need to go to school because she's so smart. This is the second time in such a short scene that Abby has downplayed the importance of school and education. Abby then informs the girls that she wants them to watch some of the other groups, which is interesting because Abby has definitely said later on that she doesn't want the girls to watch their competition because she doesn't want them to be psyched out. As the mums complain about the temperature being too hot, Abby tells them that they need to concentrate and get ready because they could be in some other country digging a ditch. Apparently Melissa was sucking up to Abby at this point, beginning to work on the hats. The notes say that Christi was watching, looking rather jealous. Abby says, "I can't believe I'm doing this," and Christi points out that she was the one who forgot to make the hats. By this point, all the mums were working on the hats. Abby asks the girls if they're ready, and says that if she hears them say yeah, without an S, that she's going to flip out. Holly and Nia, meanwhile, are sitting isolated from the group yet again. Christi begins doing her own makeup in the mirror and compares herself to the girls. While Abby puts makeup on Brooke's arms and back, she says that these are her trade secrets and that she can't do this in public. It's pretty funny that this is the secret she doesn't want the public to know about because the kids end up being filmed doing it all the time, and it's not even a special process really, it's just using makeup and it's quite simple. At this point the mums exit and Christi and Kelly go to get a drink at the bar. When they get there they talk about Holly and Nia, saying that they feel bad for her because they think that Holly feels like Nia is being left out. Christi begins to talk to another table of dance mums, which is probably why she later talks about being at the bar making friends. The way she talks about making friends without us actually seeing them interact with any other people makes it seem like Christi was more drunk than she actually was. Would it surprise you to hear that Christi and Kelly weren't even the only ones drinking that day? Apparently even Holly was drinking wine at one point, and yet she wasn't portrayed in the same way. Unlike what we saw on the show, Maddie, Chloe and Paige's trio was the first routine that the ALDC performed that day. And as we all know, Chloe's headband slips in front of her eyes and she ends up dancing blindfolded for part of the dance. You can also hear clips of the song that they were actually dancing to, while the mums are talking in the audience. The song they actually danced to was not cleared to play on the show due to copyright issues. Afterwards, Christi is not happy with what happened, but everyone is very supportive of how Chloe handled herself. After they got ready for party, the girls practiced their number in the hall. This is when Abby talks to them about a dancer who died because she wasn't paying attention while she was dancing. We also hear this during the episode itself. From what Paige says about something falling out and coming down when someone did a side aerial, it sounds like Abby told the story to exaggerate how serious Chloe's wardrobe malfunction was. As Abby watches the group dance from the wings, she talks to herself about what the girls are doing wrong. During this dance you can hear way too much cheering, considering the number of people in the audience. This suggests that there were applause sounds added into the background. After the dance, the girls rush off to change for their next number. They run back on stage to do another dance, which was their ragdolls routine. You can tell because we see the girls in the costumes for this routine in the dressing room. When they get off stage again, the girls are really excited, but they also really want to go swimming now. It is when they re-enter the dressing room that Paige was burned with the curling iron. After this is the awards ceremony, where Party 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 wins 3rd place. The show made it look like they lost really badly by getting 3rd place. However, 2nd place was also their routine, ragdolls. So in reality, they beat their own routine, which means that only one number actually placed ahead of them in the awards. There is an extra scene that was filmed in Christi's hotel room with all the mums. They immediately open some wine and talk about the dancers. Apparently Christi does an impression of Abby. They also talk about Abby keeping costumes that they've paid for, which seems to be consistent with what Christi has said, talking about how Abby kept some of the costumes and then sold them online. When Melissa begins to talk, the other mums jump on her about Abby favouring Maddie and Mackenzie over all the other kids. Melissa tells them that Mackenzie wants to do karate next year, and that she's going to let her do it. But sadly, we're all now well aware that the producers probably put a stop to this because they had the cast under extremely restricting contracts. As the mums leave, Christi jokes about having Holly spoon with her, which is a clear nod to Holly's tale of Abby sleeping in her bed. The episode ends with all the mums going their separate ways, back to their own hotel rooms. So that's all I have for you guys today because, once again, only the competition was filmed. But next week will be hopefully a lot longer and a lot more interesting. We're going to be looking at season 1, episode 2, and that's got a lot of really interesting things, especially in regards to electricity, how the mums reacted, and Kathy and Vivi showing up. There's a ton of really interesting things that are going to happen, and I'm excited for you guys to learn more about it. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.